the Ohio Bishops has announced the opening of churches for the celebration of daily Mass on May 25th, Memorial Day. At St. Mary's, we will celebrate Mass at St. Mary's Cemetery at 9 a.m. On May 26th, we'll begin to have our daily Mass schedule of 6:45 a.m. and 12:15. Sunday Masses will begin on May 30th with the celebration of Pentecost with our regular Sunday Mass schedule. The opening of churches for the public celebration of Mass comes with three important requirements to ensure the health and safety of our parishioners. They are, in just a minute, we have them. You'll see a sign as you enter into the churches. They are masks, social distancing, and hand sanitizing your hands. That's because coronavirus is still present, and so much of our celebration of Mass inside a church makes us vulnerable to the disease. So, if you have a compromised health condition, if you're elderly or feel sick, and especially if you have a temperature, please do not come to church. The live stream and recorded Sunday Masses will continue to be available on a weekly basis, and the Ohio Bishops have dispensed all Catholics from the obligation of Sunday Mass until further notice. Also, no confessions will take place at St. Mary's until a safe location is established at the church. When you come to Mass on May 25th, after May 25th, you'll notice the measures that we've taken for your health and safety. First of all, for Sunday Mass, you're going to ask to enter into these doors of the church or the other side of the church. The State Street doors will be closed and direct you with a sign like this to come to these entrances. When you come to church, we ask that you keep a 6-foot distance between you and the first person in front of you. The distance is marked by blue tape that you're going to find throughout the church that measures the 6-foot distance. Also, the doors will always be propped open so that you won't have to avoid touching the door handles. Now, if you are a family, you're going to be able to stand together and sit together. So, as we come into the church, you'll notice that there is hand sanitizer at each entrance, and at Sunday Mass, there'll be a minister there to where the hand sanitizer is located, to ask you to sanitize your hands. The minister will ask you to wear a face mask, and if you do not have a face mask, one will be provided, but please consider coming with your own face mask. The floor of the church is marked, as we'll see here. There's another mark in here at 6-foot intervals. So once inside, you'll see that so the floor of the church is marked with marked, and so please wait until the person ahead of you moves, and so please don't bunch up or congregate at the church entrances. So once inside the church, you'll notice that half of the pews are taped closed, and that the rest of the pews are taped with measures of 6 foot and crosses. Once inside the church, you'll see that the half of the pews are taped closed and that the rest of the church pews are marked with tape measuring out 6-foot sections and a cross. Members of one family may sit in one section with the cross, but another person must maintain at least a 6-foot distance in the same pew. Another minister from the church will help you find a place to sit in the church to maintain social distancing. Please allow them to assist you for the first few weeks until we become accustomed to these changes. The missalettes have been removed to avoid the need to sanitize them after each Mass. And since singing is very difficult with a face covering, there will be no music. There will be music, but there will be no congregational singing. There's no procession up down the main aisle. The priest will enter from the sacristy. The lector will be seated in their usual place. There are no servers because the book, chalice, water and wine, and host will be placed on the main altar. The lector will read the scriptures from the ambo from a photocopy. As in the live streamed masses, the priest will stay at the altar for the majority of the Mass. When there is no deacon, the priest will proclaim the gospel and preach from the altar. There is no offertory procession and no collection. There will be a special collection boxes for your collection envelopes located at the end of each of the communion rails. We don't have them yet. There's a cross marked of where there will be. And there's also there's two set for the cross out of the church. You may drop your envelopes you're offering on your way in, after communion, or on your way out of church. The sign of peace will be simply between the priest and the congregation. Coming to communion will also take social distancing into consideration. There'll be a special minister to let you know when you may leave your pew and receive the host. Communion from the cup will not be an option for a long time. The priest and the Eucharistic minister will begin to give communion at the side sections of the church. Then the priest will go to the head of the main aisle. The priest will go to the end of it. I lost my place, sorry. Okay, so the priest will go to the head of the main aisle, and the Eucharistic minister will go to the cross aisle, and there will be a single line for communion. And you'll notice that you still are maintaining social distancing by the markings on the floor of the church. Please wait until your pew is asked to go, and you will see, as you see the tape on the floor, so where you should be standing in relation to the person ahead of you. If your family is seated together, you may stand together. You're being asked to receive communion on the hand, placing one hand under the other. But first, lower your face mat covering to place the host on your tongue. Then replace your face covering. If we give communion on your tongue, the priest or the Eucharistic minister must sanitize their hands immediately before giving communion to another person. So please receive in your hand. After you receive communion, you may place your communion envelope in one of the special collection boxes that are located in the back of on your way back to the seat. You're asked to maintain social distancing when you leave the church. Please be careful that the exit doors do not bunch up. All the doors will be propped open again to avoid touching the push bars. The people who are seated in the back section of the church at this time will be permitted to leave through the State Street doors. Leaving the church will be slower than usual because of the 6-foot social distancing. So please be patient. The priest will leave the altar by the sacristy door. Well, thank you for your time and attention. I and Father Peter look forward to celebrating Mass with you again. It's been a challenge to have the pews empty for all these weeks. My hope is that we will be able to celebrate Mass in a safe and dignified manner. God bless, and see you in church.